Famiglia is a two-player card game. Over the course of the game, you'll be recruiting mobsters, and at the end of the game, whoever has the mobsters with the most points wins!
In the box is a deck of cards, and every card is a mobster. The mobsters all have a number on the top, which is its strength, and a color with its symbol that represents its family. On the bottom of the card is how many points it's worth at the end of the game. There are two sets of 4 cards with a number 1 and a number 2, and those are the 2 players' starting hands. So give one of those to yourself and one to your opponent.
Each player's starting hand consists of 1 0-power mobster from each family. Each family has special powers, which we'll discuss later. At the start of the game, deal 6 cards to the center of the table face up. This is the street.
The first step of the turn, adding to the street, is a little different than 2 halves of the game. In the first half, you can do this if there are no cards with a 0 power in the street. Choose any card you want and discard it. If you discard a 4, you'll draw 4 new cards from the top of the deck into the street. With a 3, you draw 3 cards, a 2, 2 cards, and a 1, 1 card. You can keep doing this action as long as you want, with as many cards as you want, until there is a 0 in the street. So in this case, you would have to stop.
On your turn, you always have the option of taking a 0-strength mobster into your hand, as long as it's available. In order to recruit a higher-powered mobster, you need to play a pair of mobsters of equal value. That pair enables you to recruit a mobster that is 1 power higher than your pair. So in this case, a pair of 0s allows me to recruit a 1-strength yellow mobster. This dude. When you recruit a mobster, you take the recruited mobster back into your hand, as well as half of the pair. The other half of the pair remains on the table and cannot be used unless a special power allows it.
Turns continue going back and forth between the 2 players until the deck is exhausted twice. After the first time the deck is exhausted, reshuffle it, and then the rule changes for adding to the street. There are going to be no more 0s in the deck. Every turn for adding to the street, no matter whether there are 0s or not, take any card in the street and put it in the bottom of the deck. And you'll draw that many new ones into the street.
You can only do this once per turn.
Once the deck is exhausted that second time, the game will end.
And all cards in your hands and on the table are counted for points. The yellow cards, known as the brutes, can be played 1 time per turn before playing your pair to recruit a mobster. The yellow cards weaken the cards that you are trying to recruit. The amount which they weaken is indicated in the kapow symbol. In this case, if you were to play this 2 brute, he would weaken this by 2 power, making it essentially a 1 red instead of a 3 red. This means you would be able to recruit this card with a pair of red 0s rather than a pair of red 2s.
The blue family is the accountants. Once a turn, you can play an accountant from your hand to swap cards from your hand with cards played face up in front of you. The number inside the arrow is how many cards you get to swap. So for instance, if you played the 1 accountant card from your hand, you could swap another card from your hand with 1 face up in front of you.
The green cards are known as the mercenaries, and these are the wild cards. They could be used either as the number shown in the corner, along with other green cards when recruiting, or you could use the numbers in the range indicated in the handshake symbol with any other color to recruit. For example, I could use this card as a wild 2 blue in order to recruit a blue 3.
The red cards are the Famiglia. They have no special power, but they are worth more points at the end of the game than the other families. So instead of using this time to listen to rules, go ahead and eat a cookie.
On your turn, you do have the option to pass, whether it's because you need to or because you want to. If both players pass, one right after the other, the game ends. Otherwise, the game ends when you exhaust the deck twice. And at that point, you count up the points of all the cards in front of you and all the cards in your hand. Whoever has the higher scoring mobsters at the end of the game wins. So that's Famiglia. Hope you have fun, and remember, it's a card game you can't refuse.